Give me that flash from the past. Tell them I'll be leaving from the club through the back. If you blink twice, might not be nice, but if you go wrong, then it can't be right. Yeah, I'm on that, but my train of thought on the wrong track, and I ran too far just to go back. Kinda hard to go back from Candid to Kodak. So I do it for the thrill, just kill anyone trying to take my meal.
My name is James Leach, and it's great to see so many good friends and fellow songwriters and affiliates. I'm going to begin the program with you guys today, and I've got an amazing guest that's going to join us today. He's one of our affiliates, so please give me a warm, rousing welcome for Echo. How did you let folks know who Echo was?
I made sure that I had a different, distinctive sound within the Latin world. Branding yourself is a matter of making sure you have a product, because it's not about advertising your name. That's just going to let people know your name. You need to have three things in this business that are crucial, no matter what happens, if it sells record, no matter where it goes. Number one is credibility. Number two is respect. People know that you're a serious guy, that you're not going to fail, that you're going to deliver. And respect for the people you're doing music for.
What advice or what insights do you have regarding the whole collaborative process, finding the right collaborators, or, what's your thought on that?
I mean, I think the purpose for you to do a collabo is to get the market to which that artist has already been successful at. A lot of the people that I knew are doing songs with newer people. Don't do that, because like I say, you need to get yourself noted. So if you do a song with three other cats who are in the studio, who are you? Because this is not the business of fronting, of saying, oh, I did a song with Eminem. Bro, if it didn't sell 1,000 downloads, what you do it for? Just to be happy with yourself? That's okay, it's your money, you can throw it away.
We're going to do a little role playing today, but before we do, I think it's important that we understand what the function is of all of these people on the dais in their real life, because we're going to have them play their real life job as part of these mock negotiations. We're going to start the process with Trisha and Joe having a conversation because she needs an original song written for the film.
Hey Trisha, how you doing?
I'm good, Joe. How are you doing?
I'm good. So I heard about this movie and I heard they have a bunch of money. Now you know I'm good, but you tell me what you need.
Well, what I'm looking for is a love song for the end of the show where the characters get together.
Is this song going to be a work for hire, or is my client going to own the publishing on this song?
I will say 90% of the time when I'm asking for a song to be written, it's a work for hire.
Now, in this same film, there are numerous scenes with in nightclubs where people are at parties. Christian, this is a situation where your music could come into play.
For us, she would say what genre she want, what the type of scenes were. We wouldn't necessarily make it because we'll already have a couple hundred made. Then we'll go through each scene and we'll give her 2 to 3 choices in every scene fitting exactly what she's asking for and looking for.
You've got a specific song that you want to pitch for a specific scene or a specific artist. Let's hear how that conversation works.
I heard about the new film you're doing, and it's set in Brooklyn, and so I know you're using a lot of indie rock, and we have a lot of Brooklyn bands like The National and Grizzly Bear and Freelance Whales that are from Brooklyn and kind of would, add to the atmosphere. So I was wondering if you would be open to considering any of those for the film.
So I'm just going to say what Mara did right. She just named 3 bands she knows I love because she, has a relationship with me and she knows the bands that I used to play on my radio show. That's all public. It's not that hard to figure out. She knows my movie's set in Brooklyn, so she's mentioning Brooklyn bands. It's just smart. She's just keying in on what I need and shortcutting the conversation.
Welcome to Cash for Your Songs, insider tips and secrets for music placement. How do we even get our foot in the door, and how do we even get to these people?
When I'm talking to artists and bands, is actually don't pursue the industry at all. Focus on the fan base, focus on making records and selling T-shirts and establishing income streams first. That way. And the industry will find you, especially the licensing area of the industry.
How can we actually actually follow up with you so that we're not being a pain?
Face-to-face is always good. It leaves a lasting impression, at least on me. I like interacting with the people that I work with. I'm not strict on email. But once we've had that face-to-face, I do appreciate an email that said, "It was good to meet you. Hope you enjoy the music. Let me know what you think." And then give that person some air.
Do you like to get CDs, or how should we deliver music to you?
If you're going to send a digital file, make sure that you have your metadata in that file. If you've got all the metadata in there and you can tell me that you control your master and somebody else has your publishing, I have all that and I'm not afraid, it'll be used.
I want to say a few things quickly. How very important it is to make sure you take care of your business. And we're going to start with CSAC business. When you move 7 times and you only told us about the first place where you lived, that prevents you from getting a check. We're very, very smart at CSAC, but we're not that smart to kind of like know where you moved the 17th time. It's a different landscape. It's no longer. It's now you're the record company. I'm looking at all the record companies right here in the room. The competition, because the landscape has changed, is overwhelming. When I hear songs that don't have a great melody, I feel like the writer made a mistake. What are some of the mistakes? The mistakes are not having great melodies. The mistakes are not arranging your song in a way where the audience members can consume that song in a way that they're going to want to consume it again and again and again. Take the time to know your craft, but take the time to know the business that surrounds your craft. And as far as your actual craft, don't let nobody tell you you're not the baddest bass player, keyboard player, guitar player, singer, whatever, rapper, whatever it is, because that's what you got to be to minimize your mistakes and win. Be the one that knows all about your business, handles all your CSAC business, and knows all about your craft.
As a producer, your duty is to see a project all the way through, from the top to the finish. When you are collaborating, don't get caught up in how good the energy is and miss out on the business. When you're in a session, have the split sheet ready. I did a song called Circle. And we allowed a friend of ours to come in and write with us. She's throwing ideas in and they weren't really sticking. You know, I'm like, I don't like that. And the ideas really, the vibe was kind of off. I think that we talked about 12.5%. My publisher calls me. Like, oh, you co-wrote this song with this person? I was like, yeah. I gave her props, so yeah. It's like, she's claiming like 40% of this record. I learned 2 valuable lessons. Paperwork, don't take anything personal. As a songwriter, you get paid 2 ways. You get a writer's check, you get a publisher's check. When you do a co-publishing agreement, the publisher gives you an advance on 50% of your publishing check. Okay? So when you get 50-50, run from it. Because that means 100% of your publishing. Every deal that you do whatever deal you got, whatever deal you can do to not be in debt. Don't nobody ever want to work with that kind of pressure, because creative people, we don't have normal minds. You know what I'm saying? So when you're pressurized, it totally affects everything that you do.
First off, we're going to start, and Howie, who has a major background in radio, will tell us a lot about the nuts and bolts.
My thinking is that you start working radio now, and I know that sounds really sort of daunting, but I also think we're in a very connected town, and there's probably more correlations in people that you know and things that you can tie your project back into.
You got to find who's going to be your relationship to help you champion your music. And that's really key is going to be the relationship, and it's definitely going to be the timing, and it's you building a story. If you can somehow put yourself on the radar, develop a relationship, like you said, there's no guarantee, because there's so many factors that go into the decision of putting a record on the radio?
I'll give it to Hunter, and I really wanted Hunter, as a CSAC person, to tell us, he sees to text. He sees, oh wow, we've seen an increase in this and a decrease in this as far as plays that turn into paid. So take it away, Hunter.
On the note of, the values, traditional versus new media, we are seeing a huge increase in the number of sites that are being licensed in the internet space, and our revenues are becoming much more significant in that area because of the growth.
What do you do? I'm an artist. I got a new record out. I think I got that song for radio. I mean, what's a good radio song? Where do I get the internet?
One of the things and the tools that you'll get from an online destination like ours, for example, is that you can buy on our platform and other platforms. They give it away. We think that it's valuable what we're offering. So you buy airtime, play each song 1,000 times in a particular region, and know exactly what song performs better in that region.
Would you guys agree that the playing field is almost equal for the artists now, trying to market and to expose and promote their music?
It's easier now for unsigned or up-and-coming acts to build that story, just using all the different outlets that have become available. It still does help, to have, somebody like you who's got, the long-standing relationship with the radio person and, the leverage of some of your other, more established acts that the station's, had a history with. That's going to help it get pushed through a lot quicker.
How many times do you get notes from somebody that basically say, okay, I heard what you wrote, that's not what I'm looking for, but I can't really describe what I am looking for, go write something else?
When I have the opportunity, it's really great to just push through the whole film quickly and find things that resonate with the film. And when things are working with a film, it's blatantly obvious. And it's usually obvious to everybody. Sometimes you get notes like that where you think things might be working and then they're not, and that's very difficult.
Do you find a temp track more help or hindrance?
The good thing about temp music is that it provides a conversation starting point, if you will. It's a good reference, so you can say, the director can at least say, we like this part of the temp, but we don't like the way it starts, and it's too long, or it should be longer, and it should really peak at this moment because this is the important moment in the scene.
When you're working on these indie films, which typically don't have real high budgets, the question always comes up, there's a couple questions that comes up. Acoustic score versus electronic score. Is there budget for real instruments, and how many of them can you use?
Indie world's almost always a package where they have this much money and you're going to have to hire all the musicians with whatever they give you and produce it and mix it and top to bottom basically.
We have Raymond Ramirez, PKA Paseas, and the song is called Cold Streets.
Yeah. Yo, I walk a crooked road where niggas get took for dough. Trashy hoes in the alleyway, give a nasty throw. Ecstasy and Valium, powder, pushes no talcum. Feeling like red before you turn to Malcolm.
I love that. I love the sampling in it, the production, the drums, and you have your flow is great.
Next song is from an artist by the name of Glam I Rock.
And I love it. I love the way it swallows my body alive. And I need it. Yeah. You can see it in my eyes. I'm addicted to the light. You can see it in my eyes. I'm addicted to the light. You can see it in my eyes. I'm addicted to the light. Want it, need it, feeding for it. Too strong, just can't ignore it. It all feels too good to me. See the world how it should to me.
I wanted to comment on the melody. The melody kept changing. It went to some very pleasantly surprising places, and you say, oh, wow, that was cool. Thinking maybe this is a verse. I don't know if it's a chorus or not. So we go into a rap that is also very cool, and then we go back to that sweet sound of that we started with. Very nice. I like it.
I want to thank the CSAC staff from around the country for helping us out, and all of y'all. Thanks so much.
Give me that flash from the past. Tell them I'll be leaving from the club through the back. If you blink twice, might not be nice, but if you go wrong, then it can't be right. Yeah, I'm on that, but my train of thought on the wrong track, and I ran too far just to go back. Kinda hard to go back from Canada to Kodak, so I do it for the thrill, just kill anyone.